Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Network once again. I'm Jared, this is Jaden, and today we're going to give you our sort of predictions of the finale of Born Again. We're going to give you a full review once the show is finished next week. But with how this show has, crescendoed into this story of Fisk and of Matt kind of falling back into their old ways. The finale is going to be huge. I don't know how they're going to wrap it up in one episode, but I'm assuming it's going to lead into more build-up for Season 2, which I'm so pumped for. There's been so many leaks and so many pictures already of the suits and the set and who's going to be in it, who's not going to be in it. So I'm really psyched for Season 2, and I feel like this last episode will just push us even further into the hype for that. So
Obviously, if you haven't watched all of Born Again by the time this comes out, spoilers, and potential spoilers for Season 2, because we may talk about some stuff that we've already seen, like, leaked from that. I think a lot of people, I've seen a lot of reviews where, like, people are like, oh, this show's not as good as the Netflix one. I don't think people realize that this season is just setting up the fact that Matt is turning back into Daredevil, and Fisk is turning back into Kingpin. Like, they're reverting back. And then the rest of the seasons, because they're continuing this show for a couple more seasons. They're planning to release a season a year. Season 2 is already, like, halfway through filming, I think. Mm-hmm. They're planning to release a season a year for who knows how long. So this is only the tip of the iceberg. So yeah, it might not be as good as the original Netflix show yet, but that's just because it's showing you what's happened since the last show, and then setting up the fact that it's been like Matt went almost a year and a half without being Daredevil before he got back into the suit. Fisk is, as we saw in that one episode where his suit tore when he put it on, like he's growing back into Kingpin. The symbolic natures hidden without the episodes are so good. And the most recent episode, so this is being filmed Friday the 11th, right? So it's the Friday before the finale comes out. Mm-hmm. I don't know. There might be a chance they're releasing a 2-part finale. I don't think they've said anything specific on the finale. I don't know if it's going to be one episode or not. I'd like a 2-part finale. That'd be cool. I don't know if that's what they're going to do or not. But, so this is being filmed before that. So the most recent one we've seen is what, episode 8?
Yep.
Yeah. So episode 8, great episode. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got Bullseye back, which I know everyone wanted. I wanted. Mm-hmm. I love Wilson Bethel as Bullseye. He's a great actor. The scene with him using his tooth, it was so good. Dude. It's straight out of the comics. I mean, like, ripped from the page. Mm-hmm. Like, him escaping was cool. The whole, like, him trying to get revenge. I mean, it was so good. It was a phenomenal episode. The cinematography was so well done with the blue. Mm-hmm. Anytime it's great. I love the episode. There's been a couple not super solid episodes towards the start of the show. Yep. They were big filler episodes. Mm-hmm. I feel like it was trying to ground us back into this world that we're in, and it didn't always work the way I feel like they wanted it to. But as a whole, so far, the show has been really good, in my opinion.
Well, it was really hard for me to even start watching it. Episode 1 I thought was very lackluster. I know it's, episode 1. After Foggy's death and, them tossing out Bullseye because he didn't come back till episode,
8.
Well, but we knew he was alive. Someone said he was alive in episode, 6 or 7, I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What I've noticed, that this show has a trend where the first 15 minutes or so is kind of like, okay, like, come on, pick up. And then when it picks up towards the end, it really picks up. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like, it's the rising actions of this show is each episode. It takes so long, in my opinion, to get there, but once it does get there, it's phenomenal. And I'm huge on, like, parallels. So episode 6, when we're seeing Daredevil's fighting Muse, Kingpin is just wrecking this Atom dude. Seeing them both fall back into their old ways was super cool for me. But I want to touch on Bullseye for a second. People who may not know who Bullseye is. The last portrayal we saw of him in film is it 04 Daredevil, or was it later than that, or like 03? I know it was early 2000s Daredevil with Ben Affleck.
Which I haven't seen.
I haven't watched it since I was a kid. It was a long time ago. But Bullseye is very capable. I mean, Bullseye once took on, I think it was like 100 members of the Hand and came out on top. I mean, Bullseye he is more than capable of beating Daredevil. 5 times out of 10. I mean, there's no question there about it. So, I want to see a suit. I want to see a comic accurate suit with the white and with the bullseye on his forehead. That's what I want to see. If we get it, I don't know.
I think we're getting close to getting it with the blue that they showed. Like that, like it feels like they're trying to show him like becoming Bullseye with that like sort of every time he does something.
Yeah.
In that like character set, like everything around him turns blue. I feel like since his suit is normally black or white or blue or white in like earlier comics, I feel like that's what they're trying to showcase from that. One thing I want to touch on really quick before we talk too much about finale predictions is Muse. I feel like he was slightly underused in this first season, but I did some research into the comics. Muse is a very recent villain in Daredevil comics. I think his first appearance was like less than 10 years ago, if I remember correctly. But in the comics, he's inhuman. He has superhuman strength, and he has, or not superhuman strength, but he has like above average strength, all this stuff. But his main power is he's able to hide himself from Daredevil's radar. So like Daredevil can't sense him, which is what makes him such a big adversary. But he's not so much of a fighting adversary as much as he is I think it was described as a cat and mouse adversary, where he tries to hide from Daredevil and like is like a really in shadows, like he's a serial killer, stuff like that. What I think they're setting up is some way like they did with Elektra, like Muse coming back somehow, and like he's not actually dead, and Kingpin using that against Daredevil in some way in season 2, because I don't see how you take a villain like Muse, who is like a pretty big adversary to Daredevil in the comics because of his powers, give him no powers, make him just like a really unsettling serial killer. Like that one therapy scene, I was like tensed up. It was rough to watch.
It was great.
It was great,
uncomfortable.
But like it should have been like that. They did it well. But I think somehow Muse has to come back. Otherwise, I think they messed up with that. Like if Muse comes back, I like what they did with him in the first season. If he doesn't make a reappearance, I think they severely underused him.
I don't know a lot about Muse the character, but I think that the show after Muse is surviving. I'm enjoying the show still. So I think that if Muse being a fantastic 2-episode villain, for what he was great. He gave us one of the best choreographed fight scenes we've seen in any Disney Plus show. In the train stations, whatever. But if him dying is leading to something like a comic accurate Bullseye or like a Punisher and DD team up, I'm fine with it. Like I will sacrifice that character Muse to have all of these things that I can have. Like I will
say if like his final artwork or like piece of art
is him dying on
himself,
sure,
that's pretty good symbolic.
Good way to close it out.
It would be good. I don't know. I've seen a lot of things online about people are annoyed by the fact that they underused Muse, or the fact that they teased him so much before the show, and then he wasn't even like the main villain.
Well, this is my thing with, and this is kind of off topic a little bit. This is my thing with Disney and their power scaling. Like this is a whole different topic for a different video, but we're getting into. With Thunderbolts, we're getting into Sentry. I mean, Sentry is the Superman of Marvel, if not stronger in certain ways. So it's just I don't know how they're going to put Sentry in a film like Thunderbolts with all of these these powerless heroes. I mean,
not entirely. Not all of them.
I mean, Red Guardian has got the serum. Yelena is just super cool.
John Walker also has the serum.
Okay, and yeah, but I mean, okay, so when I'm talking like, I mean,
and
you put Sentry against
can go again like I mean, they all have everyone except for Bucky and Yelena have powers, and Bucky has his arm.
Well, Bucky is super soldier.
Yeah. Oh, I guess he does have powers. So the only person who doesn't is Yelena.
Well, I mean, didn't they give him shit in the Red Room?
I mean,
did she even go through the Red Room?
Yeah, she went, but they don't give you anything. They just train you really hard, like insane.
Well,
but I mean,
even if they have a serum, they're not gonna. I mean, So my point in saying that is while Marvel or Disney can be good in pulling certain things from stories from the past and from their origin, I've found that their way of power scaling is just really, really weird. It's just strange.
Yeah, they tone down characters' powers a lot. And that is another thing is like it's said with comics too, is the fact that the strength of the character depends on who's writing it.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah,
that goes the same with movies and TV shows with Marvel. Like, depending on who's doing the movie, their powers might not be like the comics, or just because it's Disney in general.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's gonna be different than with writers, because I mean, you've got so many different writers that can write a Marvel story, but MCU is going to pick a director that's going to go with what they want. So it's like I think my biggest example of a power scaling issue is Doctor Strange. I mean, the movies make him look like he's useless, like he's just stupid, like he's nothing. And it's an insult to Doctor Strange, who is way more powerful than the movie's making out to be.
I think the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show did him fairly decent justice just in the 2 or 3 episodes.
I mean, yeah, I'm not super up to date with who that villain or monster thing was, because I assumed it was some kind of like symbiote thing, but it obviously I don't think it was. It was way stronger than any symbiote that I've seen in any depiction of...
Well, I think it's something... Well, because it looks... This is really off topic, but it looks like one of those symbiote things we got from Venom, The Last Dance. It looked very similar to something off of the actual, like, Venom planet, whatever that planet's called.
Yeah,
it looked like one of those things, so I think it wasn't a symbiote as much as it was...
That's something else I want to talk about at some point, is Null. Because
that's a whole
King in Black was one of my favorite stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. But back to Daredevil. So I think the finale predictions. I don't want to say it's gonna be the best episode we had yet, because a lot of the...
What would you say is the best episode we've gotten so far? Because as good as 8 was, I don't think I could say 8.
6.
That's the one with Muse, right?
Yeah, but that's the one where they. It starts with Fisk walking down the steps to Adam with the axe, dude, and it just, I mean, and then Daredevil appears in the subways, and that like going back and forth from the scenes of Fisk beating up Adam and. Devil fighting Muse. It was so well done, and like the dialogue from Fisk when he's talking to Adam, when he's like, when I was a boy and I used to fight men twice my size, and he takes that axe and he throws it to Adam.
God.
I mean, and speaking of Fisk, I mean, Fisk and like comic accurate costumes, he's getting bigger. And they choose to put him in I know he was in it was a black and white party, but they put him in an all white suit. Fisk wears white suits. I mean, all we're missing is a little pin and a freaking pink or black bow tie, and we have Wilson Fisk from the books.
Yeah, I love the way Vincent acts. I mean, he's
Oh,
like
he did. He's so good.
He's such a good actor, and same with Charlie Cox, phenomenal. Like up there with like perfect casting for.
Oh yeah, like top 10.
Like like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, like up there with that.
That's a video we should do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like top 10 comic book castings. I mean,
compare them. Top 10 best, top 10 worst. Yeah.
I don't know if I have 10 worst. I'm sure I could find them.
Yeah. Anyways,
like Brie Carol Danvers.
My finale predictions. I don't know if do you have any at all that you want to say?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier,
okay.
But yours are a little more set in stone. So you go for it.
Okay, so there's a picture. I tried to pull it up earlier and I couldn't find it, so I'm not gonna try and show you. There's a picture online that was. We don't know which season it's from because it showed up right between, like, when they started filming season 2 and right after they stopped filming season 1. It showed up like right in that little overlap because they started filming about the same time that they were finishing season 1 production. So like season 1 filming was done a long time ago, but production overlapped into season 2 filming. So there's a picture with Daredevil and Punisher on a street, like talking to each other. Punisher in his like get up, Daredevil in his full suit. And I don't know if that's from season 2. There's a chance it is. But for my theory, we're going to say it's not. We're going to say it's from the finale of season 1 because it'd be the first time we've seen Frank Castle as the Punisher in this show so far. Mm-hmm. My prediction, based on the ending of episode 8, again, spoilers if you haven't finished it yet, is obviously, what's his name? Bullseye just attempted an assassination on Fisk's wife, Vanessa. Fisk is going to send his task force, everyone on his task force, after Bullseye. Bullseye is going to be fighting for his life, obviously win because it's Bullseye, like be killing a bunch of task force people. Somehow, even when Matt's injured, he's going to go after him. Because, I mean, even though he got shot, it's Matt. We've seen him, like, almost on the brink of death still fighting people because it's Matt. Like, it's like that one thing Bullseye said in episode 8 where he's like, isn't that what the hero does? Like, protect his worst enemy or something? Like, Bullseye said that. And then at the end of I love that. The parallel between the opening of the episode, him talking to Bullseye, and the end, Matt protecting Fisk. Anyways, so good. So, obviously, Matt's going to somehow, even though he's been shot, probably still go after Bullseye, which then means the task force is also going to go after Matt, and the Punisher is also probably going to go after Bullseye, and it's just going to be like a big, like, I think it could be like a big, like, full-on, just full episode, like,
just fighting
event. I mean, maybe not, like, constant fighting, like, pauses and stuff, but it's all, like, that's the main story.
It's a chase.
It's a chase for Bullseye with all these parties going up against each other. I mean, it's like a free for all. It's like originally some people thought that what Wilson Fisk and Vanessa were trying to do was start a gang war in their city, which then would bring the vigilantes out and they could send their task force after the vigilantes after the gang war was started. That's what a lot of people thought, and it made a lot of sense up until episode 8. Episode 8, the way it ended with Bullseye and everything, now it just doesn't seem like it would work. But the reason everyone thought that is because of that one dude. Oh, that's another reason why it wouldn't work. That one dude that would have started the gang war got shot.
Luca?
Yeah, he's dead. So, I mean, obviously that's not where they're going. So my theory is it's going to be an all-out battle majority of the episode.
All right. Well, so thinking about it over the last 30 seconds sitting here, I don't think we see any Punisher. I don't think there's a reason that we would see. I mean, obviously, I want to see it, but I don't see a reason that Punisher comes out of his comfy little home with all his guns and his whatever else. I think that I think that we get another internal conflict with Matt within himself. I think that he spiraled so far down I mean, he literally he bashed Bullseye's head against the table in the jail.
He started banging his head
Yeah.
against the table. That was so funny.
But no, I think that he does try and chase down Bullseye. But I think that they both will. I think that they might fight for a second. Mm-hmm. But I think that Daredevil will have him and have his chance to kill him like he wanted to in the first episode when he just pushed him off the building. I think that he'll have his chance again, and he'll realize like, hey, you're falling into it. Like don't be like the Punisher.
Oh, he's gonna hear Foggy's voice
or something like that.
Like
yeah,
100%.
Yeah. So I don't think that we get
Punisher.
This show's
come full circle.
Yeah, we might get Punisher like a snippet in the end of it, like maybe him being like, hey, Red, or something like that, Or
could be Matt could go to him before he goes to fight Bullseye.
Why don't you do that though? Why would Matt go to? I mean, I don't think Matt thinks he needs help with Bullseye, and he definitely wouldn't go. I don't think he would go to Punisher for like mental health advice
again.
Yeah.
He already did
so, I don't think we see any Punisher. I think we do see a small scuffle between him and Bullseye. Unfortunately, I think that this episode will be 15 minutes of Matt recovering, and then the next half hour will just be, the next 25 minutes will be them trying to find Bullseye, and then, maybe some Fisk in there, and then him and Matt might fight at the end of it, and it'll be over. And I mean, they've got to lead. They have to lead somehow, but how they're going to do it, I have no idea.
The big thing that I have with both of our theories that could make them both just not work is Matt just got shot in the heart, or really close to it.
Well, see what's crazy. It looked like when he jumped, it hit him like almost like towards the shoulder, but when he's laying down, it's more like here.
Yeah.
So
like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I mean, realistically speaking,
awesome.
There's an ad going on.
It's gonna be a good movie though.
It looks really good. I haven't seen that Civil War movie.
It was directed by the people who are actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was an A24 film too.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know what they're gonna do about that. Like, I mean, he got shot by a rifle.
Yep. And Matt doesn't have any healing factor. So.
No. So I really don't know what they're gonna do with that and how they're gonna. That's one thing that kind of unnerves me about what the final episode is gonna be, because they had him get shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if that was the end of the season, that'd be a different story.
That'd be so disappointing if it wasn't.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it'd be a different story because they'd have all of season 2 to
recover from that and show him. Yeah.
I mean, the end of season 2 of the original Daredevil show segued into Defenders, and then Matt died in Defenders, and then season 3 set up him like not actually being dead because he got. Anyways, that's a whole different thing. But yeah, I mean, I just don't know what they're gonna do as far as him being shot in the heart, like how they're gonna get through that in one episode.
And I mean
that whole scene was so well done, like the cinematography of it, of like when he's like lying there, like bleeding out, it turning red, Bullseye being like the blue, and I mean all of the dialogue between him and Vanessa and Fisk and what's her name were just, I mean, it's so good.
Yeah.
But I just don't reasonably see how they get through that. That's why I hope it's a 2-part finale, because then they'd have plenty of time to get through him being shot in the chest.
There's no way that Vanessa and Fisk are going to let Matt, knowing what he knows and being as capable as he is, there's no way they're going to let him lay in a hospital bed untouched, or lay in his home untouched. I mean, because Fisk wants him dead now. I mean,
but here's the thing: is like he just protected Fisk from getting shot.
That doesn't matter to Vanessa or Fisk.
Yeah,
you kidding me? They hate vigilantes. What I want is Matt to finally open up to his girlfriend. What's her name? What is her name?
Huh?
His girlfriend's name, the therapist. It's like,
I don't like her character.
Is it
so I don't really
H?
care.
Dr. Hannigan? I don't know.
I don't like her character.
Yeah,
so I just don't really pay attention.
I want him to open up to her. You know, whether it's like a fit of rage or him being like, "Yeah, I'm Daredevil." I want her to know that she's dating the very thing she's against. But no. As far as family goes, I have no idea. I don't know.
Yeah. And as far as, do we want to talk about predictions for season 2 in this part, or do we want to wait for the second part after we've seen the finale? Because I've looked up some theories and stuff.
Well, I mean, that's cheating. Looking up a theory is cheating.
How is it cheating?
Because it's not your theory, then. It's other theories.
I've gotten multiple facets and created.
Yeah, well, mine's an authentic theory. I say we wait.
Okay, so predictions for the finale. You think it's going to be Matt?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Matt recovering, and then it's going to be a goose chase, and we're going to get like 5 or 10 minutes of really good
Fight
dialogue and fight, which will make it for the whole episode.
And then he's probably gonna hear Foggy's voice.
Yeah.
And then
And we have to get some Punisher. Just a snippet. Even if it is just his voice and then the screen goes black, or if it's just like his symbol in an alleyway, we have to have some Punisher.
I mean, it might be that some of the voices he hears. Like when
I don't want it like that.
I know,
I
what
want
I'm saying, like
him physically there.
Yeah, but I just don't think that they would do that. I mean, unless they do my theory. Unless it's like a goose chase and he comes out to fight because, Bullseye's a bad guy and he hates bad people.
Well, so is Fisk, and, Bullseye was trying to kill Fisk, so it's like, why would he, I don't know if he would even hate Bullseye for doing that. Because Bullseye he's not just killing innocent people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is if you pay him, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I think if they do what you're saying they're gonna do, he'll hear like multiple people's voices in his head, like battling whether or not he should kill him.
I want him standing over Bullseye, about to kill him, and I want him to start praying. That's what I want. Him praying, and like when he was resuscitating that girl, and him praying, that shit was just.
I don't think he was praying. I think that was a callback to him. I don't think his mouth. I think it was a callback to him.
It might have been him in his head. He wasn't praying like he wasn't verbally praying, but he was
I think he might get Bullseye on the brink of death, go to kill him, maybe even have a gun or something, and then he throws him on the steals one of Bullseye's guns, and he's about to kill him, and then he just throws them both down, and then just starts pacing back and forth.
If Bullseye gets guns, man, I don't know how Daredevil's gonna beat him.
I mean, Bullseye had guns in the comics.
Yeah, but I've not read many comics like that. But I mean, I don't know this universe, this Daredevil and this Bullseye. I mean, he almost had Matt dead with the knives. So I mean, think about with guns. I don't know how it's gonna happen.
Did he not have guns in that first fight scene? He had pistols.
He had knives.
Yeah, but he had guns. I feel like he had guns.
Well, if he did, Matt got him out quick. But I mean,
but also Matt can dodge bullets because he can tell right before they're about to shoot because he can hear the thing being engaged.
This Daredevil has dodged bullets. The Disney Daredevil.
I think in the Netflix show.
There's a lot of things. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen him dodge a bullet. If he has, I'm a big fan. But I don't think I saw
maybe not
him ever dodge a bullet in the Netflix or this show so far.
But either way, I think it's going to be a great finale. I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think this has been a solid show, bringing us back into this universe, setting up the future seasons, future characters. We already have confirmation that Karen's going to be back in the second season.
Mm.
There's also been confirmation that Foggy's going to be back in some aspect of the second season.
He's not dead.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was going to talk about. But you said no to wait till the second.
We need to have more Punisher because there's apparently a Punisher show coming out.
There's a spin-off show coming out next year after
spin-off.
Not spin-off. I meant special. It's a 3-episode special that John Bernthal is helping write and produce.
Good.
That's coming out after season 2 of Daredevil Born Again next year.
I don't think that so far. this Netflix Daredevil, I don't think it's better than this one. This like season 1 of both shows.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that Netflix Punisher will be better than Disney Punisher. I mean, putting Punisher in Disney, that's...
I don't know. I saw a quote from John Bernthal the other day talking about how they're letting him get into the like really nitty gritty, like dark, like mind of the Punisher, telling the story he wants to tell, like the psychological warfare that goes on in Frank's head is what they're trying to tell with this special.
Oh, we already went through that with it has to be fresh, but it's gonna be super hard because of the Netflix show.
Punisher, I think Punisher season 1 was really solid.
Mm-hmm.
I think Punisher season 2 wasn't as good.
No, it wasn't.
Because they made him be like the hero. And like...
Well, the hero's own story, kind of. I mean...
Not really, though, because he was protecting that girl. And it just felt like he was like... It didn't feel like the Punisher because he like cared about someone. I don't know.
I mean, he's an anti-hero, but he's not a monster. I mean, like,
Yeah.
even Spawn... I mean, Spawn's an anti-hero, and Spawn cared for people sometimes, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. Something about season... Like, I just watched it recently because I was, like, recapping before this show came out. I watched both of the shows recently, and I feel like season 1 was really good and really solid, and then season 2 just didn't feel like the same Punisher, if that makes any sense. But I think all in all, this show has done really good so far.
It'll be top 5, and if it's not, it's number 6.
Yeah, it's a good show. They did really well. All the hate that it's getting, I think it's unneeded, unnecessary. Because
I haven't seen much hate, honestly.
I've seen some creators that are like, just, I don't know, they're saying it's like not, the pacing's too slow and stuff like that, and I just think that, I think too many people don't realize that it's not...
Multiple season show.
Yeah. That's the thing, is like a lot of people, like me, I watched all of the Netflix show back to back. Like, I didn't watch it when it was coming out.
Yeah.
Like, this season is setting up all the future seasons. It's not really like... I that's how I view it. I don't view it as...
That's just people who are impatient. Like, I think the best example of being a patient fan is Invincible. I mean, we've waited a year, if not more, for season to come out.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it comes and goes like that. I mean, like, it felt like I just watched season 3, and now I'm waiting a year more for season 4. So
yeah, I think too many people were looking for this show to pick up as if it was season 4 of Netflix's Daredevil, and you just can't do that when it's been 7-8 years since the last show. I mean, you have to change the story.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be a 7-year difference. Like, there's no way. And that's, like, the original showrunner for the head of the Daredevil, Netflix Daredevil, said that, like, this season of Daredevil Born Again was better than their idea for season 4 of Daredevil. Because it was just, they did it so much better, and, like, he felt like if they kept going with Netflix's Daredevil, it would have run it into the ground.
Season 3 of Daredevil was so good.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
But he said their season 4 idea was never fully complete, even in the early stages of production, before it got canceled.
Because, I mean, because what I remember, it might have been the last episode, but what I remember most in the ending episodes of that show is Matt in his black suit.
That's the last episode.
Yeah, when he's holding fist against the wall, and it's like, I did it.
I beat you.
Yeah. That's the perfect ending.
I mean, I love that ending for the main reason that was like the 6th take I think they did. Is what I saw an interview about this a couple of days ago. Charlie Cox was like, that was the 6th take we did. My voice was completely gone. I was yelling to the point where my throat was bleeding. Like, that audio that we get of him, like, so hoarse and exhausted, because that whole season, I think, takes place over just a couple days. Like, it's supposed to take place over, like, a full week or something like that.
Yeah.
So, like, it's supposed to be, like, he's, like, exhausted and tired, and that just raw power that we get from that scene was so good. I mean, that's, like, It felt very similar watching episode 6 of Daredevil Born Again, where he does that like guttural yell and then goes. That's like very similar how I felt watching the season 3 of Daredevil, where he's like, "I beat you. This city beat you." I mean, so good. But yeah, we will, after the finale comes out in 4 days, we're gonna watch it together, and then we're gonna record our reactions to the finale and our overall review of the entire show, first season, as well as our predictions, some of our predictions for season 2. So, it's been a great show so far, and I'm really happy with what we've gotten. There's been a couple episodes where I was slightly worried, but as a whole, I think it's done really well.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Say that again.
All right, so we watched the finale of Born Again earlier this week. We watched it together. It's a really good episode.
Yep. I mean, there's nothing that really. Sitting here, let's see what it's Friday. We watched on Tuesday night. So 3 days later, there's nothing that I'm sitting here like, oh my god, that was amazing. But yeah, it was all in all fantastic. It was a really good show. I'm putting it up there. No. I mean, it's probably 3 or 4 on my list of Disney Plus shows so far.
Yeah, I'd put it up there. I mean, but you also got stuff like Moon Knight, WandaVision, Loki. So
yeah, well, I mean, Loki and WandaVision are my top 2. So it's like
yeah, but. Here's the thing, like I keep seeing people online, like I see either really positive reviews on it or really negative. It's like it's one or the other. There's not really an in-between that I've seen so far. But I think too many people are expecting a Daredevil show. Stay with me. This season wasn't about Daredevil, and I don't think enough people realize that before watching it. Like this season is about Matt and Wilson Fisk and how they're not Daredevil and Kingpin anymore. Like after however long it's been 7 years since the last show. So this whole season was about them growing back into and becoming Daredevil and Kingpin again, which is shown by that one insane scene in the finale.
I can't get over it.
Of Born Again. If you haven't seen it, obviously there's going to be spoilers in this. That was a crazy scene. That's like the goriest scene in all of Marvel. I mean, like
up till now, yeah. There's nothing I can think of that.
The only thing that was like slightly gorier was in Deadpool and Wolverine with Johnny, but even still, that was like that wasn't really like gory. It was anatomy. But anyways, I mean, yeah, it was crazy. I saw behind the scenes on how they did it. They had like a prosthetic head, had it like ripped. Yeah, it was crazy. But then it's shown between him doing that while Matt is also suiting up, and cutting back and forth between the two of those. It's showing them becoming Daredevil and Kingpin again, which is also why, like, I think there's it's been some leaks for season 2, like stuff seen around New York. There's missing posters for Matt Murdock, like up on like walls and stuff like that. So I think like he's really becoming like Daredevil in the second season, and that's what we're gonna see a lot of in that season, which we'll get more into predictions later. But I think too many people took it as this is gonna be a straight continuation of the Netflix show, but you can't just pick up from something that ended 7 years ago.
I mean, you can, but
yeah, but like it would just there'd be too many unexplained things, like and like the fact that they're 7 years older.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's people that wouldn't have watched the old show and whatnot.
Yeah, so like they had to do something different, and I think this first season, whether it was a good choice or not, I think their goal for the first season was to make it look kind of like a re-entry point.
It was for people who are new to the character. I mean, I think it was a great way to get started. I mean, because I mean, I haven't watched the Netflix show in 4 or 5 years, so it's like there are things that I forgot happened or said or whatever that were brought back to my attention because of how well this show, I mean, just carried on normally. Like, yeah, it wouldn't. I mean, yeah, there was a time. There was a long period of time that had passed since the last show, both in our world and in the cinematic universe. But
Yeah.
it wasn't noticeable.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
And I think,
in a bad way.
yeah, and another reason why I don't feel like they could just do that 7-year gap and just make it like pick up immediately is because we've already seen Matt in both No Way Home and She-Hulk. So
Yeah.
like not having those appearances be explained wouldn't really make sense. So I think that's part of the reason why they had to do what they did. But also like I've seen stuff from new fans, kind of like you said, who have never seen the original show but watched this show, like saying they loved it. And I think too many of the negative reviews are coming from fans of the original show that aren't giving this show the space it needs to become what it can be. Because, I mean, this show went through a ton of reshoots. You can kind of see some apparent, like, cuts and, like, switch around and timeline stuff in some of the earlier episodes. Because, like, the entire first episode was reshot before the show came out.
Yeah.
It was going to be a completely different first... I think it was actually the first 2 episodes were completely different episodes.
Well, I think those 2 were the weakest ones out there. I mean, I know that we saw Bullseye, we saw a pretty good fight scene between Bullseye and Daredevil, but episode 1 and 2 was hard for me to grasp and want to watch episode 3.
Yeah.
That's something I will say. I think that when we went back and watched the last episode of the Netflix Daredevil show, just watching, I know it's 7-year difference in technology and whatever, but the choreography for this show, for Born Again, was far better.
Yeah.
Than, and
Well, also, they had a way better
looked.
budget. Like,
I mean, yeah,
comparatively.
but still.
And that's something else I wanted to say. Like, I've seen some hate about, like, them using CGI. I don't know if we mentioned this in the first half.
We did, I think, yeah.
Yeah. There's been some hate about, like, them using CGI, them doing, like, other things that the show didn't do before, like more blood. And I'm like, the original showrunner literally said that he would have done that stuff if they had the budget for it, but they just didn't, so they had to do work.
I mean, people are going to complain no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, like, do you want Charlie Cox actually swinging from a fucking baton? You know, I mean, or do you want him just, like, looking like he is, but it's not really him?
Yeah.
So, and I mean, like, I think these shows need a bit of gore. I'm not saying you have to show Wilson Fisk tearing someone's jaw off, but I'm saying, I mean, some blood, I mean, just some realism
like the
to
Muse
it.
scenes.
Yeah.
Like all of those that had like the first fight had some blood in it, and then the second fight had definitely more. But yeah, I think overall I really enjoyed the show. I'm extremely excited for season 2, which is now confirmed to be March 2026.
Yep.
Release date.
It was the first Disney Plus show that that I will watch the episode the day it comes out since Loki.
Yeah.
Because usually,
I guess since Loki.
Because usually, I'll it came out a couple days ago. I'll watch it whenever I get a chance to. So I mean, but this show I was anticipating the episodes coming out.
Yeah, it kept me excited. Looking forward to it. Now, I will say, one place I think that this show lacked is the fact, this is Sony's fault, is the fact that Spider-Man was mentioned and then just never showed up. And also the fact that, like, he's in New York now. He's, like, supposed to be a street-level hero now, supposedly. Hopefully, that's what his 4th movie is. We'll talk about that more in the future. But then there's an entire citywide blackout, and he's just not there. And that's all because of Sony. They gave him, like, he can only show up in 30-minute episode.
That's what I don't understand with this whole rights thing to a character is, if Disney has their own Spider-Man, I understand Sony owns Venom and whatnot. Well, I guess I don't know anymore because that was the last dance was the last film they made with Venom. But it's like, if Disney has a Spider-Man, why is Sony telling them how to do their characters?
I don't think they have... Like, I think what Sony has is the namesake for Spider-Man in movies and TV, so Marvel has to get their permission to use it.
Freaking stupid.
So, like, for instance, in Invincible, that one guy, that was supposed to be Spider-Man, but Sony wouldn't let them use the Spider-Man namesake. So we got,
which is dumb
whatever his
because I
name
mean,
was.
why would Sony not? You know what I mean?
I-
And Disney's got more money than Sony. I know
Yeah.
they do. So why the hell can they just buy them out?
I don't know, but I think really what Sony's doing. I mean, at this point, if I was on as an ad, if I was on Sony, like us, the team on Sony that involved with Spider-Man, I would keep the namesake until Beyond the Spider-Verse, since that's the last of it.
Yeah.
And then sell it for more profit than you made from Madam Web, Craven,
Oh yeah,
or Morbius. You could sell
and
it to
all your
Disney
Venoms
for.
combined.
Yeah. And like that's what I would do. So I think that might be what they're doing, is waiting to sell it until they get Beyond the Spider-Verse out.
I hope so because
Which honestly I'm kind of fine with. I mean, not fine with, because there's ups and downs for it, but like the Spider-Verse movies have been phenomenal so far, and I can't wait for Beyond the Spider-Verse. And I feel like if they would have sold it to Disney before they finished Beyond the Spider-Verse would have been bad because it would have been a Disney production. So that's the positive of it, but the negative is that we don't get Spider-Man in stuff like Born Again.
I would rather have Spider-Man up. I'm not saying I want quantity over quality,
Yeah.
but I don't think that with the success of Into the Spider-Verse, I don't think that Disney would have interfered too much in Across the Spider-Verse. I think it would have been just as good. And they won't mess with Beyond the Spider-Verse either. So it's like, I would rather have Spider-Man in more stuff than have one movie, over the next 4 years.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's my personal opinion on Spider-Man, because I mean he's my favorite character, so I want to see him more. But
That's fair. Yeah, he's definitely.
And speaking of characters, this show has got me wanting to read more Daredevil.
Oh yeah, I
mean-
I just bought a Daredevil book when we were at that comic book store because
Well, there's a story that I'm getting into right now about Shadowland and about Daredevil. You know, like he's possessed by like, and it's not Mephisto, but he's possessed. He's like possessed by like some shit.
Yeah.
He's got him possessed, and that's a really cool story. But it's like that's what this is what a good show should do. It gets you. It should make you want to get into the character more.
yeah,
And this show did that.
I think they thoroughly succeeded with that.
I loved it. I loved the show.
Another thing that I've seen online, and honestly I kind of agree with, is the end of this show felt slightly lackluster. Not because of the cliffhanger. Like, the cliffhanger's fine with me, but the fact that he's like, if we're going to take down Kingpin and his task force, we're going to need an army. And then his army is just Karen, Cherry, a couple of cops,
Yeah.
and Josie.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, everyone was like,
Defenders.
where are the defenders? Yeah, like, where are all of the defenders at? Like, I think that was a missed opportunity for sure. I don't think there's any rights issues there. Like, they should own all the Netflix shows now.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they didn't do that unless they're
Luke
saving
Cage,
it
Iron
for, like,
Fist.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
Unless they're saving that as like a reveal in season 2, like an early reveal, I don't understand why they did that. But other than that, I think overall the show as a whole was great.
Give it 8.5 out of 10. Do I give it?
Yeah, I think I'd give it about that.
Just because of how I think these episodes. I said it before. I think these episodes struggle in the first 20 minutes, and then and not. I mean, it's not due to like lack of action or lack of interest. It's just because I think I mean, these episodes want to build up to something in the end, but it takes like I said, 20 minutes to get there. So
Yeah.
that's something that I had an issue with.
I think,
But
for me personally, and something I had an issue with was a similar thing, but for a different reason. I think this show, or this season of the show, struggled heavily because of the reshoots. Some like timeline didn't add up, and it just felt a little choppy at times in the earlier episodes. And I feel like that was part of the reason that it didn't come across as good as it could have been. So I'm hoping in season 2 they don't do any. I mean, they're not gonna have any creative overhaul in season 2, so there would be no reason for them to do reshoots unless it's like subtle reshoots like they do for everything. But like if someone can't be there a certain day. But I think overall, probably an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think Charlie Cox and Vincent, I don't remember how you pronounce his last name, but the person who plays Wilson Fisk, I think their acting in this show really carried the show. And also John Bernthal. I mean, anything he shows up in, he is phenomenal in. Wilson Bethel, who played Ben Poindexter,
Fantastic.
he
Was
really
awesome, dude.
leaned in.
Yeah.
I think he's better in this version of the show than he was in the original. I mean, in the original, he was really good with when he wore Daredevil's costume.
Ugh,
But
looks so good in that suit.
yeah, I'm excited for when he gets the comic accurate. I'm hoping we get that in season 2. But yeah, I mean, overall, season 1 review, 8.5 out of 10. Super hyped for next season.
Mm.
Wish it would have come out a little bit sooner.
How many are we getting? Do we know?
That's actually what I wanted to talk about when we start getting to season 2. I think I might have a screenshot of it if I wanted to get the exact quote. But
Because I mean, like this character goes. Because okay, so if it's March of next year, Brand New Day comes out July of next year.
yeah,
So like, let's see, March, April, May, June. So we got 3 months. Well, 4 months, and from Born Again season 2 and Brand New Day, and I want them to connect that somehow. I want these street tier characters, to show up in other shows.
but that's the problem that we're running into again is with Sony. I don't know if they're gonna let them interact.
Fucking stupid.
So yeah, I found the quote. It says they said the showrunner for the show. He said that they're hoping for season 2 and then season 3 and season Infinity after that. So they're every
So
year.
we're definitely getting 3.
We're
We
getting
just
at
don't know
least
about-
3
yeah.
over the next couple of years. Hopefully, it'll continue past that.
Well, if
And
Disney,
there's so many Daredevil stories to tell, so I don't see why it couldn't.
if Disney continues to evolve in their storytelling, and focus on more on the exactly, Disney is a children's company. Disney is for kids practically, but if they keep evolving where they're appealing much more to their mature audience who watches this stuff, I'm not saying princesses and shit. I mean this Marvel stuff. If they evolve like they have been, and give us the stuff that we want, most of us will be happy.
Yeah, I mean,
Most of us.
no kids are watching Daredevil, so there's no reason
Yeah.
to tone it down at all.
Don't baby it.
And they definitely didn't with that finale.
Nope.
That was something.
Jaw on the floor.
Another thing about season 2, the actor for Foggy, Dario Scartapane, I'm pretty sure that's the actor. I should look that up. Anyways, was asked at the premiere of not the premiere of the finale, but like the press tour for the finale that they did, about the return of Foggy Nelson in season 2 because it's already been confirmed. And he said, "As for Foggy, I'm going to plead the fifth on all of that with regards to the future. It's too much fun to give away."
Yeah, he's not dead. He's not dead. I knew it.
Supposedly, we'll see, I guess.
He's not dead. There's no way.
I hope he's not. I love Foggy. I mean, he's a great character. I just don't see how it makes sense for Vanessa to fake his death.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. Her and Daredevil, I don't think they're not mortal enemies, but they're not friends.
No.
So it's like,
And I also don't understand like how they're gonna play it off because Daredevil literally heard his heart stop.
Well, I mean, there's
He could have been
medications you can
resuscitated
take.
or revived.
Yeah, I mean, there's shit you can do to make your heart stop for a moment.
Maybe
but
that's what it was. Maybe his death wasn't faked.
maybe he did die on the street, but
Yeah.
on the way to the hospital or something, he was
Yeah.
because that happens.
Like maybe that actually could make a lot of sense. He got shot, died on the street, but then was revived in the ambulance. When he got to a hospital, they put him into witness protection, and he's not allowed to interact with anyone he knows because that's how witness protection works.
Yep.
So he's like in hiding until the witness protection's over because he's obviously targeted by. That would actually work.
But
if
it's
they
like,
did
but
that.
what's the motive for? I mean, I don't know. I mean, him not even trying to talk to Matt at all would be. Yeah, that's kind of strange.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not really allowed to.
Well, I know,
So-
but I mean, if him and if him and Karen lived with Matt 7 years of no Daredevil, they must have grown to enjoy it a little bit. So it's like, Foggy might have wanted to be like, Matt, don't go back, I'm alive, some shit like that. But too late now.
Yeah. But yeah, season 2 is already looking like it's gonna be really good. They cast Matthew Lillard in an unnamed role.
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
No.
Yeah, he's unnamed. Like no one.
What the frick?
I love Matthew Lillard. I mean, he's a phenomenal actor. So I can't wait to see what he's in, what he does, because I mean I love him in everything that he's been in that I've seen. So that's something to look forward to. Also, like we said, Matt Murdock's missing, which means he's probably going to be Daredevil for a majority of the next season. And also, obviously, spoilers, the black suit, like the Shadowlands suit, is confirmed, and that looks so good.
We're finally getting the D's on the chest.
Yeah. And now I wonder if after he does that, like if he ever gets if he goes back to his red suit, if he's going to get those.
I mean, I assume he'd stay. I hope he'd stay with that.
I hope so. I mean, if not, I wouldn't hate it because he has it in one of his suits. But I want to know why he gets the Shadowlands suit, too. Like, is Doomsday going to lead into Shadowlands?
I watched some theories about how the MCU is going to bring in Doctor Doom, and it's kind of... They're kind of crazy. Like, there was a theory saying that towards the end of Fantastic Four, it'll be Galactus, Silver Surfer, and they're going to be facing off against the Four. Something can happen to where, like, Reed... It has to do with Reed building the bridge to view a bunch of alternate realities. But regardless...
Oh, yeah, they said that in the trailer.
Yeah, something about a bridge, right?
He says he says he built something in the outskirts of space and they saw.
Yeah. Yeah, so what with this theory I was listening to is that Galactus and Surfer are fighting the Four, and Doom sees the bridge almost like as like a beacon. And Doom wants to conquer, and he's like, oh, what about conquering the multiverse? Like, conquering the universe is awesome, but the multiverse could be even better. And he shows up, and immediately, in minutes, he kills the Surfer and Galactus. And that immediately puts him as, the hierarchy of...
That would help with the fact that, like, they don't want to kill Thanos again if they had him kill Galactus. Like, that would... Because we talked about how...
God Emperor Doom, whatever, yeah.
It would be a problem because it would make him seem weak.
I mean, killing him...
Kill Galactus, yeah, that'd be...
But then, insane. I mean, that takes Galactus out of the MCU. I mean, I'm sure he can somehow, come back, but I mean...
Maybe he just doesn't kill him. He just defeats him, like, makes him
immediately.
retreat.
Oh my god, yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, that'd be pretty cool. Like, if Fantastic Four ends with Doom, like, coming down or something.
I mean, that's just going to suck because we're going to spend one film on Galactus and not get him for another 4, 5, 6 years.
But, I mean, it'd kind of be like in What If, where the Infinity Ultron, like, sees that there's,
the
like,
Watcher.
The Watcher. It'd be a similar type of thing where Doom's like, oh... I conquered my world already, but there's a that's how he finds out about the multiverse.
Is the bridge.
That might be a good way to do it.
I don't know. I mean, everyone wanting to get away from the multiverse stuff, that might be the wrong way to go.
Yeah. Or maybe that's how they do the end of the multiverse. Like,
we're
make it the end of the multiverse. We are. But that's normal for us. Anyways, I mean, Born Again takes place... The second season would be, like, right before Doomsday. But he's probably not going to show up in Doomsday, I would imagine, because I don't see how a street level characters can show up.
Yeah, that's part of the cast
in our Doomsday podcast. If you haven't listened to it, so I don't understand. I don't understand how he would show up
or why.
But something else I wanted to talk about though is the Punisher special. We got like a post credit scene for Born Again is probably going to lead directly into that Punisher special.
I don't know what they're going to cover in that show. I mean, I want it.
I mean, it's probably going to be him breaking out of that and then potentially hunting down the task force. I don't know.
But why wouldn't they just have that in Born Again season 2?
Yeah. I guess because they would want to focus on Matt. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Matt's not even in the picture anymore. It's Daredevil.
Okay.
So it's like, I mean, I want the Punisher show, but I like them
I
too.
don't
I
know.
think their dynamic is super cool. It's super fun. It's hilarious.
After shaving a haircut, you do all that for me? Yeah, I did it for
just,
you,
just for
Red.
you, Red. Yeah.
But no, I don't know, because I also have heard multiple things about the Punisher special. I haven't seen an official thing, but like some people are like, oh, it's gonna be a 3 episode special, and then some people are like, oh, it's gonna be 1 hour and a half long special, and I'm like,
That's stupid.
what are we getting? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be a full show. I know that it's a special, but I don't know what we're actually getting because it hasn't been officially announced. It's just the fact that it's happening.
Well, see, what's dumb is I don't know why they would do that and not just make a full-fledged movie out of it. I mean, if you give us one special, it's an hour and a half long, add 30 minutes and give us a movie
Yeah.
about something. Maybe about him after, or like about him, developing that safe house he lives in. I mean, just something.
Yeah. But, anyways, as far as predictions for Born Again Season 2, I don't have many because we don't have a lot to go on.
No, yeah, and saying some like Shadowland where his character goes completely haywire because of this or that's just too bold.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense for them to go from the end of Born Again 1
To bad guy.
Yeah, it just doesn't track.
On the slightest.
So I don't think his Shadowland suit in the show is actually going to be like Shadowlands. I think it's just going to be because it looks like have you seen you've seen the pictures for it? Like, it looks like it's like his regular suit
Just
painted over because you can see some of the red like shining through in some places, and then obviously the D on
Maybe
the chest.
maybe it's just like a more sinister version of Daredevil. I mean,
Yeah.
where he's not taking no for answer, he's not pulling punches, just
It's like his war suit or
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
he just paints it black.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like a new Daredevil.
I mean, I'm hyped for whatever season 2 is going to bring because I mean they literally set up an all-out war in New York with the end of season 1, and I'm like, all right.
I'm just thinking, who
cool.
else is in New York besides Spider-Man, the Defenders, and Daredevil and Punisher? That would be like a street level. I mean, Moon Knight.
He's not.
Not gonna happen.
He's not in New York though, is he?
No, I mean no, but
Yeah.
him and Frank Castle and Matt are acquainted.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I don't know. I want another season of Moon Knight so bad. That's another topic for another day though. Yeah, I mean the only thing we have to go on for season 2 is that they set up that war. I mean,
yeah, that's it.
there's
Giant turf war.
There's been an announcement for, I don't remember her name. It's Lily something. She's gonna be like a political opponent to Wilson Fisk at some point. There's rumors that Muse is gonna be brought back somehow, and like have his powers that he has in the comics, which could be cool.
I want the Hand back. We got the Hand very briefly in Netflix show.
Yeah.
But the hand is way more than what Netflix show made it out
Weren't
to
they
be.
in the Defenders though? Because that's how Elektra
I watched
came.
Defenders. I have no idea.
Well, like I mean, in that show, it showed like Elektra coming back and then her dying again.
She leads the Hand at one point, and then there's a point in time where either Fisk or Matt can run the Hand, and Matt's like, I'd rather somebody like me run it than someone like Fisk.
Yeah.
And that's when Matt gets possessed or whatever, and he tries taking out the Defenders and shit and whatnot with the Hand. So I mean, I would like to see something with the Hand again.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're just a lot more than the Netflix show give them credit for.
Yeah, I don't know too much. I haven't read a ton of Daredevil comics. I read that one that I got the other day and then a handful of other ones. But I really love the character. I'm going to start reading more. But I mean, yeah, other than that, and obviously whatever Matthew Lillard's unnamed character is going to be, we don't really have much more to go on.
And I'm not very familiar with all of Daredevil's rogues, so I don't know who he could be if he's a bad guy or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know there's Muse, and I know there's Wilson Fisk,
and Bullseye. That's all I know.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know who else he even goes toe to toe with. Because I mean, like while I love Matt Murdock, there's not many MCU villains that I know of off the top of my head. that are street tier like that. I mean, there's like Spider-Man's. I mean, you know, there's Tombstone and the Sinister Six and whatnot. Rose. But like, other than that, I don't know who he would even go against.
There's Bullseye, The Hand, Kingpin. Obviously Muse. I saw something before I clicked on this link. Now I can't find it. Mr. Fear. I don't know who that is. The Jester.
Huh.
He's fought Taskmaster before.
Yeah, the character's already butchered. Can't save it. There's no way.
I don't know why. Who is Typhoid Mary?
Oh no, that I know who that. She's in that story, in Shadowland story.
She's in the Shadowland story.
Yeah.
She's a Bloody Mary. She's a mutant.
Ugh. Let's get mutants involved.
Yeah, but that's pretty much his rogue gallery. There's not much. I don't know who Mr. Fear is, but I feel like I've heard that name before. But honestly, it kind of just sounds like Marvel's version of Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Oh, it kind of looks like Taskmaster, honestly.
Taskmaster. It's hot.
Honestly, I can't really see, but if that's who Matthew Lillard played in season 2, wouldn't hate it.
Taskmaster's character, like I said, is butchered. I'm not for gender swapping roles at all. And if Taskmaster at one point was a female in the comics, I don't know about it. Sorry, but Taskmaster, as I've read, watched, is a dude. He's a dude.
Yeah, I mean, everything I've seen him in, he's also been a dude. Like, even in the Marvel's Ultimate Spider-Man TV show, he was a dude.
So
he showed up in the episode with Deadpool. Have you ever seen that? That's funny. Yeah, it says Mr. Fear he survived his death and became a Columbia law professor. As Mr. Fear, he used fear gas to exact revenge on faculty who ignored him when he was a student there. He kidnapped Ben Urich and faculty members to lure Daredevil into a trap, but Daredevil ultimately defeated him. Sounds like he could essentially be another 2-episode villain, kind of like Muse was, if they want to do that and keep. Honestly, I wouldn't hate that if they have villains in the show that are 2 to 4 episode villains, but have Wilson Fisk be the overall villain. Kind of necessary if you want him to be the big bad that you make him out to be.
Yeah, because he is. Build on it, yeah.
But I mean, honestly, that would fit into Matthew Lillard's wheelhouse of characters. He's really good at playing psychopaths.
We're talking about Shaggy, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's also the killer in Scream.
Yeah.
And he's also...
I wanted to make sure I got the right guy.
William Afton in the FNAF movie.
My God.
Okay. But, I mean, if you don't have anything else, I don't really have any other theories on season 2.
They're like you said, they didn't give us much to go off of. So
no. I mean, there's the turf war, and that's about it.
Yeah, just something good.
I'm excited, definitely. But yeah. What are we talking about next week?
Oh, it's up in the air. We need to talk about new trailer for F4.
Mm-hmm.
We need to talk about.
I know we can
need to throw in some Star Wars stuff there with
all
Celebration coming out. Yeah. We could
There's a lot
finally
of
talk about Superman.
Yeah.
I really have a lot to say about Superman and about the pressure this movie has on it. I'm talking as much pressure, if not more pressure, than like Endgame and Infinity War to deliver, just because of. I mean,
we haven't had a great Superman movie in a while.
Or a great DC movie in a while.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like that movie has the chance to make or break this universe.
Oh, completely.
Because it's the foundation for that.
I mean, I like James Gunn. I love James Gunn. All that shit's fantastic. But if Superman, if it falls through, man, James Gunn is in trouble.
Yeah.
Big trouble.
Definitely. So, anyways, we have a few options. We'll decide and then record. And we'll see you guys in that episode. Thanks for listening. Go check out our previous podcast if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys next week.